We have had a time of it, right? That was just 18 episodes on one costume, and I need a beach episode. And that's what this is going to be. It's just going to be maintenance, and I think it's time I address him. He couldn't hold the weight of a costume. I'm unbelievably unhappy with him. I started to fix a couple things and went, wait, I'm bringing you along with me. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to fix my mannequin. So he's one of these relatively inexpensive mannequins, right? They had a weird knob thingy that would slide and lock in place, and I replaced them with carriage bolts and wing nuts because I don't adjust him very often. But if I take him to an event, I like taking him completely apart because he fits in a bin better. The first thing I've done, y'all probably have already seen. I gave him a head, which is made way more useful. I added a couple of straps here and there just so it wouldn't, because he's got two in the front and two in the back, because I don't want his head falling off. This stupid pole here, attached to a thing all the way up in here that keeps him straight, right? And that thing broke years ago. So this thing used to go inside here and hold the pole in place. And it is flexible, so if I made it big or small, it would automatically fit to that. I don't think that's nearly as important. I turned these the other way around, and I'm going to attach them to the top. Because controlling the pole up here and something down here will, the 2 points will keep them rigid, so I don't have to worry about it wobbling like it has been. And that's just a couple of bolts through a couple holes that already exist. I mean, there's nothing super special about it. I did bend them the other way so I would have full access to the wing nuts, because that's where they go. So I'm just going to connect this guy real quick and pick it back up in a second. I'd love to get another one of these to put back down there, but that's probably not going to happen. It is summertime in the US, and I live in the Chicagoland area, and it's very, very hot. I think we're in the 80s to 90s today. That's Fahrenheit. It's pretty warm. Just doing this raises the center of gravity from here to here, which means he's going to want to self-balance anyway. I still want to put something underneath to connect everything. Not quite sure what that is yet, but I'm going to do something. First, I want to make sure that his size is the same as me. I'm going to use two things to do that. Use my tape and calipers that you probably can't see because I cut them out of clear acrylic. They're just caliper-shaped things with a nut in the middle. I just laser cut two of them so I can get a rough idea. I got tired of guessing. So he is roughly waist, which for me is 38. It used to be 32. This guy is currently 38. I'm happy with that. Thighs would be 36. Well, it's not thighs. It's, you know what I mean. Okay, so his waist is right, but his thighs are way too wide. I need to figure out, mine are about that wide. Puts them at 15. So the front needs to come in a little. The front to back is fine. I want to get this as accurate as I can because if I'm making a piece that fits on the bottom that holds the pole in place, I need that to be relatively accurate. It's probably good enough. Now to deal with the bottom, and I'm not quite sure how I want to do that just yet. I'm at the point where I can attach the top and the bottom again, but I'm going to leave that off because I really want access. So I don't have to fight with things being in my way. I had some 1.5" aluminum L channel. This isn't it. This is the 1/2 inch. Cut it. So I had two flat pieces. Right? Lob the ends off so they fit in It's going to form an X. They should keep me semi-adjustable, but I don't, like I said, I don't really care about the adjustment. I put two marks and drill some holes for the same bolts I use for these. This would be an ideal situation because this is fully adjustable. This isn't going to happen, so I'm going to do the next best thing. But I'm going to drill a couple of holes and then we'll pick it back up. So when I say drill, I just drilled a couple of holes. I've got them laid on top of each other because they should be relatively symmetric. And I've got it clamped so I can drill through this. This is freshly cut metal. It's kind of sharp. I don't want a chance, slicing my hand open. Because I've done that and it's not fun. Now the smart thing to do would be to drill a hole dead center right now. I don't quite know where dead center is. So I'm going to show you exactly what I just did to find close enough to dead center. First thing I did was fold this over completely at the 1. Just because I wanted to start it even. I put that line at the center. So I don't fight with it. At the center of the hole, right? Then I line up the tape to about the center, and I just fold it over. I'm not paying any attention to numbers whatsoever, but right there is where I made my mark. But I don't want to do math, so I just folded the tape measure, and it gave me a nice, pretty close to center circle. And I just drill that out on both of them, and we should be ready to start putting this thing back together. Plus, if I'm just a hair off, it's not the end of the world. If I'm a lot off, then we may have a problem. But this, that should be fine. I'm not tightening these down yet either. And the other one just goes behind it. If I did my job at least close to right, holes in the center should line up. This poor guy is just falling apart. Fabric doesn't stay on very well. And then the last one. This one I kind of expect to be out of place because there's almost no way. There we go. I have all of these supporting pieces exactly in the same location. But as long as they're close, and push this into place. All right. Now I'm going to secure everything and we'll be back in a second. So this hole doesn't line up because again, these aren't all in the exact same location. So I've loosened them up and then I'm going to move it until I line it up. And right there, it fits. Well, fits close enough. Now I'm going to tighten everything again now that I have everything as square as it can. Square as it can. As square as I can make it. This is a hole saw. This is not the right tool. This is a step it. It's got all these little steps. This is the right tool. I can't find the rest of them and this one's too small. Considerably. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to use a hole saw. Not preferred, but it is what it is. So I've got them resting upside down. I'm just going to drill a hole. Hopefully be done with this part of the modifications. Back you up, put on a pair of headphones. This is a deburr tool, right? See that? Probably not. It's got a little bit of carbide curved piece, which is perfect for taking the edge off of metal bits, so I don't, cut myself open real bad. They make inside ones, so you put it in and do the same thing. This works just as well. All right. In theory, should be ready for the stand. So no, we don't have it together yet. I don't want it together yet. I want to make sure everything works first. It goes into there. There's a bolt right here that holds a copper pipe in place. which is just a hair too big for the hole I just drilled. But it ain't going nowhere. So I don't need the pipe to go all the way up like it did last time, or like it did previous. So I can actually drop him back down. I'm going to put some foam. It's still a little high. Pretty neat. And put some foam around this thing so it stops making noise. I'm going to put two more on the edge, and then we're going to start putting him on. So to put him on him, I have a bunch of fender washers and carriage bolts. That's it. It gets fender washered together. And now I get to see if he'll still go back together, since I did a bunch of changes on him. This is difficult to see and impossible to film. So we're just going to assume I did this thing, and you'll have to trust me on that. And we'll pick this back up once he's back together. So I've gotten him pretty much exactly where I want him to be. Head's in place. Tilts forward a little bit, but you know, I have bad posture. We'll blame that. He is almost done. One more thing I want to take care of. But for that, I got to do some printing, so I'll be back in a minute. It's not going to be a minute, but still. With and without. I don't think it makes a big enough difference to even mess with it. I don't think the shoulders are doing that much. So it's not worth my time to print everything and fight with it. If I wanted, it's only like an inch and just rounds it over. I could just use foam if I really wanted. Same with the head. Punish Props has a head out of foam template. But yeah, if I didn't have a printer, that would work too. I mean, I just wanted something to make this guy be a little better. And when we were working on the Mando, I put my balaclava. Put my balaclava on him. So everything, all the colors would match. And I'm like, it occurred to me, I could do that. Because this is all funky looking. I could just get him an Under Armour shirt. And that will absolutely fix all of my problems with this mannequin. I may end up getting him his own balaclava. Look at that. That's not too shabby. These look kind of weird. The best way to get rid of sleeves is to turn them inside out. Oh, for the goodness. Come on. The nice part about that, don't know if you can see this. Let me pull you up so you can see this. So now when I draft, this is actually my arm's eye. That's pretty much perfect for anything I do. And that's neat. So, with minimal effort we have a mannequin who looks 1,000 times better, way more functional. Like with the Under Armour like this, I could stitch where my standard seam lines are with like a contrasting color, like a bright red. I could go, oh, this is normal my center, this is my center back, this is my waistline, and mark everything on the mannequin. I don't have to think at that point. I'm just tracing out pieces for whatever I want to do. Now, the fact that my arm's eye is already predefined, that's super useful. He's way more stable. I don't have to worry about things popping off or lining or him leaning weird when I put armor on him. I could get him his own balaclava and the whole thing would just be sleek and black. If I get arms, I can attach a side panel with whatever arm piece is there and move from there. The options are virtually endless. And this is a weird one, right? This is shop maintenance. This is upgrading tools. It's not a build video. I just needed a break after that last one. I'm pointing there because that's where the bin is. The bin is bigger than most of my normal bins, so he's not going to fit like everybody else. I'll figure something out. We should be back to our normal nonsense next week. I'm not sure what I'm doing just yet, but I'll figure something out. If you want to see where we go with that, maybe think about sticking around, liking and subscribing. That really helps the channel grow. Sharing. No single act helps a video more than actually sharing it. I mean, there's the clicking the share button so the algorithm thinks you shared it, and there's actually sharing it. Nothing helps the channel grow more than getting it in front of new eyes. So I sure would appreciate that. Other than that, thanks for making it to the end. I have channel members. We're up to 3 now. I'll give it a couple seconds so I can put a name on the screen. Put 3 names on the screen. That's neat. So that's a thing. If you want to join, I'd also appreciate that. But again, thanks for making it to the end. Hope to see you next time. He hopes to see you next time too.